It's been 2 weeks since Tyrone Clark became a free man, released from prison after spending nearly a half-century behind bars for a rape he's always maintained he did not commit, and which in recent years his accusers started to question too. Clark was 18 years old when he was convicted in 1974 of rape, kidnapping, and unarmed robbery. A jury determined it was he who broke into Ann Cain's Back Bay home, raped her, and beat her. Cain, who is white, identified Clark, who is black, 2 days later through a photo lineup. But years later, Cain said she had doubts about her identification. Writing to the state parole board in 2019, "I am no longer absolutely sure that my identification was correct." But when the parole board did nothing, Cain decided to go public, speaking with GBH News' Jenifer McKim about her concerns back in July. After that, Clark's lawyers asked the judge to grant him a new trial, which she eventually did, although she left intact Clark's convictions for kidnapping and robbery. Suffolk County DA Rachel Rollins, now U.S. Attorney Rollins, has said she will not prosecute the case any further due to the vacated rape conviction, as she explained to Greater Boston in September.
Back in the 70s, eyewitness testimony was the gold standard.
Yeah.
We know now in 2021, we still use eyewitness testimony, but it is inherently questioned. And when you add to that cross-racial identifications, in particular in circumstances where there are individuals that might not have come in contact often in their lives with a different race, that they are even more problematic.
Joined now by Tyrone Clark, who was officially freed the day before Thanksgiving, along with his attorney, Jeffrey Harris, who also represented wrongfully convicted Frederick Clay, who was freed in 2017, and Jenifer McKim, senior investigative reporter at the GBH News Center for Investigative Reporting. Tyrone Clark, it was your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
What does it feel like to be free?
Oh, man, it's so overwhelming, man. You know, it's just so many people, man, out here that I didn't even think. You know, when I left the prison, my lawyer showed me the phone. You know, I thought it was like, you know, another attorney wanted to talk to me. And, you know, he showed me the phone, and he showed me all these people all over the world. It's just reaching out, man, to, you know, to try to help me in my situation, you know, or donating money so I can, you know, have a little something to be all right. Because when I was released from the prison, I really didn't, you know, get, you know, as far as compensated.
Understood.
Yeah.
What's it like to be back in a world that for most of the last 50 years you had never been in?
It's okay. When I came in prison and stuff in 1973, the world was totally different from it is today. They didn't have technology and all this stuff, man, that I'm dealing with right now. You know, I mean, it's like, it's crazy. You know, I don't even know how to really work a phone. You know, I don't know how to, you know, a text. There's a lot of thing about people texting out here. You know,
But you're free.
but I'm free.
But you're free.
And you know, and a lot of people, you know, that I speak to and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They try to help me out and stuff with little things that I don't know about. You know, they show me how to work the phone. And then, you know, the person who took me in, his name is Jerry. He's a very, very great guy. He's not just a friend. He's like a family member to me. Yeah. I feel like I've been knowing him a long time, man.
I understand that.
You know, and with the day before Thanksgiving, my attorneys, you know, trying to find me a place to go, 'cause I had no place to go to, man. You know, and you know, and this place that I was supposed to go to, they closed the door on me just before Thanksgiving. And
I want to talk to you in a minute, if I can, about your future and what you believe it holds for you and where it holds for you. But I want to ask your lawyer a question. Why did you reach out to the survivor in this case to begin with? Why did you think after all these years that was the thing to do?
Well, I really didn't know if it was a good idea at the time. I was assigned by the Public Defender's Office to investigate the case again. I was told that this was a possible innocence case, and I looked up the name, and there she was, and I sent her what I hoped was the most respectful possible email, and she was thankfully happy to talk to me, and it was It was a fruitful conversation.
And Jen McKim, she spoke to you too. And one of the things in your report I want to read, she said, it is a well-proven fact, this is what Ann Kane, and by the way, she wanted to go public. She agreed to her name being public in your reporting. It is a well-proven fact at this point that eyewitness identification is incredibly unreliable, and I had no experience in differentiating black faces. I can see how I might have been wrong. She says, I might have been wrong. You spoke to her. Is she convinced that she was wrong and that Tyrone Clark is not the man, Jen?
No, I don't think she's convinced. She can't really say, but she's very convinced that she could have been wrong, and that troubles her greatly because she said at the time that when she was that young in her 20s, she had known very few African Americans at all, and she really started to build doubt over years and years and years, and so she was very grateful when Jeff reached out to her, and then when he suggested that I might want to speak to her, she wanted to talk about it because she was concerned.
You know, Tyrone, you've said you'd like the chance to meet with the victim. Why?
Because I wanted, thank her in person, man, for, even though it's been so long, Jim, 50 years, but the fact is that the victim had a lot of courage, man, to do what she did. She came.
You're not angry at her for, that's the reason why you lost 50 years of your life.
I'm not really angry at her because it really wasn't her fault, and I have a heart to forgive, I believe in God, and I believe that God saved her as well as he saved me, me to still be here today, and it wasn't for her, all this wouldn't be happening.
Would you like her to apologize to you, Tyrone?
Is that's what she wants to do, apology? But what the victim is doing, she's doing more than apology now. She's putting me public, so people can see that I should be, more than what I should have right now.
Are you angry at anybody? Or you're not angry at her? Are you angry at the government, at the prosecutors, at the police, at who?
Yes,
anybody?
Yes, I'm angry at all the people that back then who put me away, the DA, the Boston police, and, it's not just like, as far as concerning the victim.
Do you think you're going to die in prison?
Wow, that's what we were just talking about.
Did you?
Yes, I did. I didn't
And
think.
how do you deal with that every day?
I just try to stay focused, man, working out, go to church, talk to, people, that, that I hang around with, like it's in my situation and stuff. Because there's a lot of guys in prison, and just like me, that's wrongly convicted, that's struggling, to be set free.
And how do you deal with the anger you feel at the people you do feel? How do you control that? How do you live with that?
I try to stay focused, man, by with counseling, doing programs, stuff like that there, And I try to bring my anger out towards other people, because my anger is not nobody else's but my own.
Understood. Jen McKim, you've spoken to Ann Kane after this conviction was vacated. Does she have interest in meeting with Tyrone Clark?
No, I didn't ask her that, but I did ask her feelings about about his release, and
what'd she say?
She was very grateful that he was released, but she also felt that she was not so happy that the district attorney and the judge did not vacate all of his convictions, because this means he can't qualify for, or it doesn't appear like he'll be able to qualify for restitution. And she was concerned that if he didn't commit the rape, then he shouldn't also have these other charges, convictions still maintained.
Is there any recourse, Jeffrey, on those other things? I mean, the notion that a man can spend 50 years of his life in jail and come out and not be compensated, not be given a chance at a fresh start, but just released, is just almost unconscionable. Are there avenues for Tyrone Clark, or no?
I think everyone agrees that he should be compensated in some way. The statute, unfortunately, I don't know if the Attorney General will argue this when Mr. Clark files for compensation, but they can argue that because other convictions stand, that he shouldn't be compensated. Maybe they will argue that, maybe they won't.
But the legislature, despite that statute, they could decide if they chose.
They could.
In Mr. Clark's case, that he deserved compensation despite the state of the law. Am I not right about that?
That has happened in the past, I think only prior to the restitution statute coming online. I think since the restitution statute is in the books, that most of the time it goes forward through that.
And is there any other appeal to, I've been calling her the district attorney, as I said to Senator Whitehouse, obviously she's the U.S. attorney.
Right.
Is there any appeal to her successor once Governor Baker appoints him or her?
Well, the question of...
In terms of these other cases, these other convictions.
Absolutely. If Mr. Clark wants to move forward and try to get those other convictions
You can try to
vacated,
do
we will
that.
do that. We tried to do that in 2020. We challenged all of those convictions, and it was denied by the court and opposed by the district attorney. So maybe that's changing now.
What do you want to do?
Well, I just want to set a foundation, for people like in my situation. I want to build a foundation so when guys come out of prison, man, that need support, I can be able to help them and stuff. Me concerned that they have a place to go, stuff like that, so they won't be like in my situation when I got out of prison. I didn't have a place to go that wasn't for my attorney. I don't want that to happen to a lot of guys that I know that's getting out and being released. At least they have a place to go to.
Can we go back to the first question I asked you, if you don't mind? When you wake up in the morning and you look around and you don't see the same kind of restrictions on your liberty that you had to live with for virtually all of 50 years, what's that moment like at the beginning of the day?
Every time I hear like sirens and all that stuff, it reminds me that I'm still in prison, man, and I don't like that kind of feeling, it makes me uncomfortable and stuff, but that's something that I know I have to, work my way to try to get used to, because I'm back in the free world again, and I got to get used to a lot of things. It's not going to be easy for me. I just got to take my time with people, man, that care about me, and my lawyers, stuff like that will help me as I graduate, back into society.
And I only have 30 seconds left. You're basically saying what you want to do with the rest of your life is help men and women who've been wrongly incarcerated like you.
Yes. That's basically what I need help with, because I think that would build a good foundation for people, like I said before, people coming out and they have a place to go to, because there's a lot of people that's in prison, it's so many of them, that I know, because that's all I know, what's prison. And that's my family in there. I don't want to leave them behind, and I don't want to be able to build something out here, so when they do come out, they won't be in the same situation,
I wish you success in all those things. You deserve it after all this time. Tyrone Clark, it's really good to meet you.
You too,
Jeffrey,
man.
it's good to see you again. Thanks for your
Good to
work.
see you, Jim. Thank
And
you.
Jen, terrific reporting. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
But can I say one thing, Jim?
Of course, quickly.
Or can I just give a shout out to all the guys who's watching me? I love you guys, man. I'm talking about the prison guys.
I
you know
understand what you're talking about.
I didn't forget about you all,
Tyrone, it's good to see you. Thanks
you too,
for being
man.
here.
It's a blessing to meet you,
Thanks so much.
And I just hope that I can do something, right as I move on down the road.
I think you will.
I
Thanks for your time.
appreciate you too, man.